So for about the last month or 5 weeks, I've been in Seattle and I've spent a lot of time working on the course build out for the new online version of the video seminar. It's something I've been meaning to do for a while, but this is the time I've been taking the time to do that work. I've been very fortunate, very blessed to have a collaborator with me, my friend Sharon, who's a real estate agent, and we've made a lot of video together. She's helped me with script development. She's been just an awesome asset to help me do the curriculum development for this course. So she and I were talking a couple nights ago, and we've made a lot of videos for her. And she said to me, she goes, what's really interesting is we go through all this stuff, the script development, the story, the selling, story selling, all stuff, and it's really important, and it's working, we're getting traction, it's awesome. But she says to me, I'm getting these comments from people like, the ones I like the best are the ones who are just like, what's going on with you? And I said, yeah, I know. I do this blog. I've been doing it for 5 years, and I always get the most comments about, this like the wisdom, insight, this is what's going on for me kind of thing. And so she said to me, she goes, well, why don't you talk about what's going on for you in one of these videos? And I thought, you know what? Okay. So that's what I'm doing here. Don't worry, it's not going to be very long. About 7 weeks ago, I got back from LA. I taught a desert pencil course. It's awesome as it always is. And 2 days later, I was told that the property that I was living in had been sold and I had to move in 5 days. That was kind of a shocker. So I spent the next week packing up my entire life, my office and everything else, and trying to find a new place to live and putting my life in my truck and saying goodbye and driving several hundred miles and then setting up camp again and, all the things one does. And fortunately I had some good friends that helped me, and I tried to maintain some semblance of workflow. I think I did a pretty good job. I've actually done it before, so it's not like a brand new thing to me, but it was just like another thing on top of this whole thing that we're going through. So that's a part of what's been happening for me. But I've been really plugged into my network as I've been going through this. And one of the reasons I do that is because I don't have any family. I'm not married, I don't have any kids. Everybody's passed away. So as far as family goes, I really am alone in the world. But what I have instead is amazing friendships all over the country. And it's pretty cool actually, because I got to pick them, and that's kind of nice too. But anyway, it's been a time for me to plug back in with them, to rekindle old friendships. I've made some amazingly strong new business contacts. I've got some awesome opportunities, which really just kind of came unexpectedly. So grateful for that as well. But one of the things I've noticed about all this, as I've talked to all these different people and listened to their experience, and we've traded notes and so forth, is, no matter what's going on in the outside world, we kind of all want the same thing, We want to feel good about ourselves. We want to feel connected to the people around us. We want to feel like we're making some money, we're going to survive, we're going to be okay. And for those of us still in the working world, we want to feel like we're doing work that matters. And those things don't change no matter what the external environment is. And it's been interesting, I've kind of watched both ends in the middle. So a couple of my best friends who work for big companies, and nothing changed in their life. They still collect the same paycheck. They still do the same thing every day. The difference is they just don't get in their car and drive someplace to do it, and now they're on Zoom a lot more. At the other end, I have some very close friends who I love and care about very much. This thing's been a catastrophe for them. I know a couple people that completely lost their businesses. I'm 58, they're my age group. Not a good time to be pressing Control-Alt-Delete on your whole life. Younger people, service workers who are now out of money, and I'm worried about them running out of mental health and the potential ramifications of that as well. I think I'm somewhere in the middle, I've always been self-inventing. I have been through my share of tragedy and hard times, some of it by consequence and some of it by my own decisions. I'll be honest about that. But what I'm doing right now is taking everything I've done for the last 30 years and moving into the online space. We're going to have online courses, doing my first webinar in a couple weeks. And the way that I look at it is, if you study history, if you understand the evolution of humans, even in like the last 100 years, that strife and hardship is a part of the human experience. I've always thought it's kind of funny, everybody wants to get old. You know, a part of getting old means you're going to go through a lot more shit in your life. That's a part of what it means. And so right now we're kind of in that moment. I want to end this on a good note. I'm going to do my best here. This is my last part of the message. I've had some very intimate and important conversations in the last month with people I'm close to, people I care about, and they're having a hard time at home, you know, and confinement, being around someone you don't want to be around, and if there's any booze involved, you know, all those things kind of exacerbate bad situations. Things are said that you don't want to be said, you can't take them back, all that stuff. Look, I've been there, I get it. Maybe that's why it's more on my radar. But if you find yourself in your own version of that right now, here's my simple advice. Press pause, okay? Because if you're a wise person, if you're able to step outside of your own paradigm and your own emotions and your own understanding and sort of take the larger picture view, what you're going to see is the bullshit doesn't really matter. The bickering, the fighting, the drama, the resentments, the bad feelings. What matters is loving each other, you know? And this is really a time when I think we need to do that. And I'm not trying to be all woo-woo on you, all spiritual. It's not my thing. If you know me, you know that's not my thing. But what I'm talking about is trying to do something to take care of yourself and your relationships, because when this is all over, that's all any of us really has, you know?